to everyone. Yes, we are back on. We had a small hiatus without telling anyone. So,
Or ourselves.
It was kind of just mutually agreed on the days that we're doing this.
It's
Nah,
just
not
social
really.
media blackout and me being tired as fuck.
Yes, also, yeah, we don't want to half-ass things. We want to whole-ass everything. Whole-ass. Shut up.
Half-ass two things.
I said what I said. I said what I said. Anyway, basketball happened over these weeks. We're not going to do a weekly roundup, otherwise we'd be here for fucking ever to cover the last 3 weeks. Right. But I think we should do a little I think it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Describe these 3 weeks in a 3-word phrase, Davian. Think of a 3-word phrase.
Lakers are garbage.
Lakers are garbage. Oh, let's see why Lakers are garbage. Oh, they're 7th in the standings. How did they get this far? I thought sometime. When did LeBron and AD come back? It wasn't long after. I know AD came.
They came back after the Washington game, so I don't know how long ago that was. Because when they lost to the Wizards. So the 29th of April they lost to the Wizards, and then the 1st of May is LeBron's first game back. So LeBron's been back.
Okay.
The Lakers are now they're 2-8 in the last 10 games.
Oh.
Yeah, so they've lost to. So I'm going to put that there. They've lost to the Trailblazers, the Clippers, the Raptors, the Kings, Wizards, the Mavs twice, the Jazz, and yeah, that's it. They beat Denver.
Ooh, they've had a tough schedule.
They beat Denver and they beat Orlando, but that's about it.
In all fairness, LeBron-less and AD-less to go against those guys is tough, and then
they've had
play
AD.
Those guys, integrating them back.
Yeah. So the problem they've had is, obviously, LeBron's been coming back, but then he came back, then got injured again because of the ankle injury. So
AD got injured again.
LeBron got injured again. AD got injured again with his back. AD's back hurt him, so he missed a couple games. LeBron re-injured his ankle and missed a couple games, so he missed the Clippers and Trailblazers.
Oh my goodness!
Kuzma has been playing ass cheek.
I've heard many memes of like Kuzma needs to get fucking arrested or something. Like who's this guy, Average Joe, in a LA Lakers jersey?
Yeah, so it's. I think it was the end of the Trailblazers game. I think. Let me double check because I think Anthony Davis played that game. It was close. I think Lakers were trying to come back into the game. Anthony Davis had a dunk ruled out. Then Dame Lillard hit a 3. Then Kuzma had a dunk ruled out. Then Dame hit a 3, and it was washed. Kuzma played 33 minutes, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 points. Anthony Davis, 39 minutes, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 36 points. So, yeah, Kuzma had a horrible game. It was horrible.
You know what? I think the extra playing games will help the LA Lakers to integrate.
Maybe. One second. You know what? Like, obviously, I don't want to do a weekend recap, but I do want to look at Kuzma's individual stats for that game because I did see the memes and I felt bad for them. I felt bad for them for a bit, but then when I looked at it, I was like, yo, you scored 4 points and missed everything. No one ever was clocking you. But yeah, I think they've just been horrible. They've won 2 games and they've won 2 out of 10 games. They're getting caught up by the Warriors at this point.
No, they literally are. I think the Warriors are like 2 games behind?
The Warriors are 2 games behind. 2.5 games.
They're 2.5 games behind with
5 to play.
And Lakers have a game in hand, but they'll probably end up losing it.
Well, the thing is, right now, because they lost to the Trailblazers, the Lakers are almost guaranteed to play in tournament. Unless, and Dallas have a really favorable schedule.
How many games are left?
5.
It's like 5.
And they're 2 back from, So the Mavericks have a really favorable schedule. They've got the Timberwolves.
I know Mavericks beat the Brooklyn Nets. We'll talk about the Brooklyn Nets in a little bit.
The Mavs' last 5 games are Cavs, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Raptors, and the Timberwolves, which for them is really favorable. And then Trailblazers have got they've got 4 games left. They've got the Rockets, the Jazz, the Suns, and the Nuggets.
See, this is interesting because I swear a few days ago I was hearing that the Trailblazers were thinking about firing their head coach.
They are if he doesn't make a decent run into the playoffs.
So they're firing their head coach.
Yeah, same with is it Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, I heard about that too. But like the thing about a little bit Milwaukee, wasn't it last night? They were like the 2nd seed for a hot second.
Yeah.
And also, what's interesting is the New Jersey Nets are 5-5 in their last 10, which is
New Jersey Nets. Yeah.
Brooklyn Nets.
You know, it's funny. I used to that all the time. It took me ages to call them Brooklyn.
I went to fucking right. Here's the thing, right? I went to Merry Hill with my girlfriend on what day was it? Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Yeah, I went to Merry Hill with her, and we went to Primark, and they have an NBA section there, and I saw the Chicago Bulls stuff, and I was like, "Oh, sick! Let's go!" I really want to check this out. They had LA stuff, but it was like pretty shit. They had one Miami Heat cap. It wasn't a snapback or anything. It was like the arch thing, and I was like, "Well, that's a bit shit." Like Chicago Bulls stuff was all right. But then, like, the only good shit there was like the Brooklyn Nets stuff, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you try and get that stuff done?" And I was like, "What do you think? No, I don't want to do that. It looks cool, but
it does look cool, but it's
So,
like, why are you on the Nets though? You know they've lost 4 in a row.
No, they won last night.
Oh, they won last night. Oh shit, they beat the Nuggets. Okay, before that they'd lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, wasn't it like without Harden as well or something?
Oh, well, Harden hasn't played in how long?
He hasn't played.
Harden's been out as long as LeBron has.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, it sounds about right.
I know they were both out for ages. He had a hamstring injury, so he plans to play before the playoffs.
Yeah. I was saying the Bucks, because I've been keeping an eye because. Even though I've not been in within the NBA circle lately, I have been keeping an eye on the Heat scores and stuff, and I've known the Heat have been playing pretty good lately. Like they're 7-3 in their last 10. Yeah. I'm seeing, I feel like that. Yeah, that's good. Because my three word thing was gonna be playing heating up, because both playing tournaments look to be very interesting, especially on the East.
Celtics.
The Wizards, who got a much needed win against the Pacers last night.
Yeah.
It took Bradley Beal ended up getting injured in the process, but they're gonna assess
that game. Oh, and then obviously
he scored 50, and Russell Westbrook equaled Oscar Robinson's triple-double in the season, right?
Season? I thought it was overall. Is it?
Oh, overall. Yeah, overall. I don't know. I didn't actually check. I just knew he broke a record.
I think it's the most triple-doubles ever.
I wouldn't be surprised. Probably. Most triple doubles ever. That makes sense.
I'll double check.
That makes more sense because I feel like he would have gotten more triple doubles in one season in his MVP season.
Yeah, it's his 181st triple double.
It's crazy.
So he needs one more to break Westbrook to break Robertson.
I remember recently a thing that really pissed me off was Stephen A taking credit for the Wizards playing well and Russell Westbrook playing well.
Did you see that? Okay, I saw that too. And he said, "This is what I said. I didn't say I didn't carry triple doubles. I'm just glad that you man are winning now." And I'm like, maybe, you know, you should shut the fuck up, because
how about everyone knew this and you were just too quick to. Yeah. Everyone knew this was going to happen. Like this is a team that has a former MVP and an all-star in Bradley Beal, who's I think it's between him and Steph Curry that are the scoring champions. They're going for the scoring title this season.
Yeah, it's going to be two of them, yeah.
It's between those two. Because I know Steph Curry, because the Warriors game was after the Washington game. And like he heard that Bradley Beal scored 50, which is why Steph Curry scored 5 threes in the first quarter. 11 overall in that game. He scored 40 something points. So it was like a reply. It was like a reply to Bradley Beal scoring 50. And if Bradley Beal is out for like a couple, well, for a scoring title, I guess that doesn't matter because it's like points per game.
So I've got the current stats here. The top 5: Luka's 28.4 points a game, Dame Lillard 28.6, Joel Embiid 29.2, then Bradley Beal 31.4 points a game, Steph Curry 31.9. So these
man is also 31.9 points a game.
Yeah.
Damn, that's some high. Okay. What about these?
42% from 3.
The Sixers are on an 8-game winning streak. Holy shit!
Yeah, the man they've been killing it. I think.
Is Joel Embiid like thrusted himself further in the MVP?
I think it's him versus Jokic. Oh, Jokic is favorite, but he's second, I think.
Yeah, I would have thought with the Sixers doing this now, like if Joel Embiid's been playing and not been out injured,
that he been playing well.
Thrusted him like
So it's even looking at the if I'm looking at the MVP ladder, the top 5 are Luka, Chris Paul, Giannis, Joel Embiid 2, Jokic number 1.
Oh yeah, because Suns are still just 1.5 games back, and they're 1 game in hand. Yeah, 1 game in hand. I feel like their position in 2 is safe.
So, but you know what's interesting?
Yeah, go on.
This is about the playing tournaments. I find it really interesting that the Celtics are in there, and that if it is as it stands, we'd have Celtics versus Pacers. But another thing I find interesting is if the way that, because obviously Brooklyn have been on that 5-5, like they've been middling out, and obviously, I mean, Philadelphia most likely going to take the conference. They're 3 games ahead with 4 to play, so they need to win 1 more to get the conference. So the way things are going, if the Bucks catch the Nets, are we going to have a Nets versus Heat first round series?
See, last night, because the Bucks were briefly in the 2nd seed and Nets were 3rd, I thought that and I was like, I kind of want this to happen, and I kind of want to knock them out in the 1st round.
So okay, I think if we
that would be chef.
Okay, I'm just looking at I'm going to look at the Nets.
I would not give a single fuck about the rest of the playoffs. If we could beat the Brooklyn Nets in the 1st round, I would not care. Get me through to free agency. We'll get Kawhi or whoever the hell. Like, I do not care. If we beat them, that is a successful season for me.
I'm not sure how this works, but the way it currently stands, Milwaukee are half a game back. And obviously they've got their game to play. So when they have that game to play.
It's because they have a
it's 44-24. It's 44-24.
They have a better conference record. Is it head-to-head record? I think it's conference.
If it's conference, then Bucks will go. Bucks are 27-11 in the conference.
Nets no. That's why last night
they went above. When Bucks play their match in hand, they could go to obviously.
Well,
they could go to number 2.
Who is their next game?
Their next game is Tuesday against the Spurs.
And
then they've got the Magic, they've got Pacers, the Heat, and the Bulls. So they could win 4 out of 5 of those games.
Easily. They could win 4 out of 5 of those games.
So realistically, if they win all their games, they'd be second in the conference, which would put Nets 3rd.
Yep.
And
who's Nets got left?
The Nets have I know they've got the Bulls twice. They've got the Bulls, the Spurs, the Bulls, and then the Cavs. The last 2 games, they've got 2 back-to-backs as well.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't know, because I feel like the Nets could win all those games.
I think what's important to remember is the Bulls have beaten the Nets already this season.
That is important to mention, but however,
I feel like
the Bulls have kind of gave up. No?
Maybe,
No, I don't think the Bulls will give up because they're only behind the Pacers by 3 games.
3 games, yep. So they have a chance. I found them.
I don't know. I mean, if the Bulls really push it, they
Yeah.
could do it.
If I'm them, if I'm the Bulls, even if I go out, I just want to beat the Nets again, innit? And that's
Yeah. In all fairness, yeah.
and I feel
Um,
like um, the way the Nets are set up, these guys are probably going to look at the Bulls game, but they don't really care. Like they know they're in the playoffs, they're confirmed. I think they might just be like, who doesn't really matter. And
mm,
plus, either way, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be the East looks fun this year. We could have
well, I mean,
Bucks versus Wizards, could have Nets versus Wizards. It could be.
I'm looking at the play-in tournament for the West as well. It just looks like it looks like it's going to end up being the same couple of teams, but in different positions. So it's like the Lakers, Warriors.
I would
Grizzlies,
assume
and
that
Spurs.
the positions they're in now, because of the 2 games gap, we're probably going to look at Lakers versus Spurs, Warriors versus Grizzlies. I mean, if I'm the Lakers, I mean, it's not fun, but maybe we need them games. If they can beat Spurs and then take the first game and use that to get them ready for a potential
I
matchup
don't
against the
know. I
Suns
don't know. I would not. I mean, all that the Spurs would have to do is beat the Lakers twice, and they
twice.
have
Yeah.
Greg Popovich.
hmm
They have
But
Greg Popovich.
realistically, I feel like if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at this and I have to take the best from the worst situation. Like this is a bad situation. I have to take the best from it. And I think if I'm looking at the
Get
best
that
from the bad
extra game.
situation, get an extra game in, try and have a tough matchup. You have to go against DeRozan. You're going against a person like Pop. You know they're going to be a good team, well drilled. You know, set up, and then you got to use that, try and get some momentum to push on. Because realistically, their first round might be the Suns, and those guys are playing really well with great players, and you know they're. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm just focused on getting everyone healthy. Can we get everyone ready for that time? I, I don't know. I feel like everyone's expecting the Lakers to just kick into that gear when it's ready. I'm a little worried.
No. See, I know LeBron can kick in that gear, but is LeBron enough? Is
Yeah,
the
but so
question.
for me, I think.
I know from first-hand experience that LeBron
Oh, trust me. Yeah, we
can
know.
kick it.
Like the world knows that when it's playoff time, LeBron's a different animal. But I'm
Like,
looking
is it
at
gonna go 2016
yeah,
Cleveland
I'm looking at
Cavaliers?
like
No, not 2016, 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers on this. This is not the Eastern Conference. Like
no, it's not.
these are all monsters.
And because they have the 7th seed
One through
currently,
one through one through eight are all monsters.
yeah, like this Western Conference is stacked. We're gonna have a lot of great playoff games, a lot of great playoff series. And I think the thing is, right now,
I
the
mean,
Lakers.
now in the Eastern Conference, you could argue that one through one. I don't know. Right, the Knicks and the Hawks are like weird ones for me because I feel like they're really good regular season teams. I don't think they're going to make much noise in the playoffs, but by the looks of it, they're going to face each other in the playoffs unless the Miami Heat end up going up against the Hawks, which
I
is not
honestly
very
think
likely
if
to
I'm the
happen.
Knicks or the Hawks, us facing each other would be a lot better than us facing anyone else.
100%.
Let one of us get through and let's have that thing. Because if I'm the Knicks or the Hawks, I am very concerned that we can't do. We've had a good run, and I think we've had a lot of momentum will carry us through. But will we be able to translate that to a 7-game series?
But I mean,
against...
Knicks have lost 2 games in a row. The
Yeah, they
Hawks
have.
are 5-5 in their last 10. The Heat are 7-3 in their last 10, so they're on their way up. And I don't know what the rest of this.
I think when you look at the games the Knicks lost, they lost 128-105 to the Suns, 113-97 to the Nuggets. Like it's that
Those are
caliber of
top-tier
team
teams.
that are beating them by 20, like it's 16-20, like it's. And that's
if I'm them, I want to play against each other because they need to attune to these playoffs because they're not experienced in these playoffs.
No.
These teams, at least not together anyway. And I feel like they've been very good regular season teams, but we said it at the beginning of this season that it's going to be a season that's going to favor. We're going to get some surprises because like the season is kind of messed. The whole schedule is put together. The Hawks are a young team. It's favored them. The Knicks are a fairly young team. I think it's favored them. But when playoffs rolls around, I mean, Jimmy Butler sat out a fair amount of games, so I know for a fact, like it's I know for a fact that as soon as the playoffs roll around, this like 36 and 31 team
Yeah.
isn't going to be playing like a 36 and 31 team. I know for a fact.
You know what's interesting to me? It looks like the Lakers and like other teams. There are certain teams who I'm watching them and like they seem like they're only playing against a couple teams. So like, I saw I know Lakers and Nuggets did it. I've seen the Suns do it too, where like Clippers are doing it too, where look, it looks like they're preparing for playoff basketball already.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the Lakers Denver was 93-89 because these guys were playing actual defense and tried to Anthony Davis had that last minute. But when you look at the Knicks, it's like they look like a different form of caliber to like they might be able to pull off some shots, and I'm really interested to see that. But if they get the Hawks, then that means that we're guaranteed one of them goes through. We get that whole series where
if I'm the Knicks, I'd want the Hawks because the 100%. Defense there would be horrendous.
And you know that Trae Young's a bit
Isn't he one of the worst defensive players in the whole league?
He's one of the worst defensive players.
News just in, Jaylen Brown is out tonight against Miami, who misses his third straight game with a right ankle sprain.
Is it the Celtics Heat today?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, that's interesting because whoever wins is going to go 7th, isn't it?
No, whoever wins. Well, I mean, if the Celtics win, if the Celtics win, they're still half a game behind.
But you guys got each other twice, so
yep.
You have a playing game to avoid the playing games.
Yeah,
if the Heat win twice, if the Heat win both of those games, they're pretty much guaranteed to avoid the play-in.
Pretty much, which is favourable because of we stayed in the tournament for so long last season.
I don't think it should be that much of a shock to anybody that the two teams who went the furthest in the bubble are both sitting in 6th and 7th.
No, you're right. You're 100% right there. In fact, out of all the teams that made it to the conference finals, it's the Denver Nuggets who are the highest seed, and they're 4th.
And Jokic has had a career season to get them that far. When you really think about the fact that they've got
and it's worth mentioning that Murray is out for them.
Murray's out as well, so that's also
with an injury.
Effect. So I think
cause and effect.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at it, it's
Lakers are 7th right now.
Yeah, Lakers are 7th.
LeBron and AD injured makes sense.
LeBron and AD injured. Jimmy Butler's had to set out our games this season. When you're looking at it,
Jazz out in the first round. Suns didn't even make it.
Didn't make it.
Sixers out in the first round. Nets out in the first round.
Clippers
Bucks
semifinals.
out in the second round. Knicks didn't even make it. Hawks didn't even make it.
Actually, if you look through, Jazz obviously, the Suns didn't make it. Clippers semifinals.
Semis.
Denver were conference finals. Mavericks
in all fairness
lost
to the Clippers, they played in a 6-game series and then a 7-game series. So
yeah, I mean a lot of that they're
Mavs out in the first round.
Trailblazers
out in the first round.
First round.
Plus
the Lakers. Lakers
Warriors
won
didn't
it.
even make it.
Warriors didn't make it. And then you go to the East and you're looking at 76ers were out early. Nets out first round. Was it?
Yeah, against Toronto.
Swept. Bucks out to the Heat. Knicks nowhere near. Hawks no. So you can see the residual effects that
there are the residual effects of it. And
you've got the Heat and the Celtics in 6th and 7th, and you've got Denver and Lakers in 4th and 7th. So it's
there is cause and effect there.
Yeah.
And especially if you look at the early part of the season, especially for the Heat, who started off like fucking 7 and 17 or something.
Something like that, yeah. And I think the Lakers were doing okay, but they weren't playing well. The Lakers were doing okay, but they're doing better away from home than
the Lakers were playing well, and then both their stars went down.
And then both their stars went down, and the second that happened,
then they kind of maintained it. And then as soon as they heard their stars were coming back, they decided not to play anymore.
I think it's because of the fact that integrating AD back into it, especially integrating AD without LeBron, it just seemed difficult for them because they don't have that natural playmaker. And Dennis Schroeder obviously has been dealing with some injuries, and he really has been carrying the team. So while he's been injured and AD, and that means you're looking at the both ADs to try and come together and try and play big ball, and then you try to get Kuzma.
Wait, hold on. A double D's.
Oh my god! Boom! Got him.
Clap.
But yeah, so in the last game against Portland, Dennis Schroeder was out, LeBron was out.
Oh shit! They had no playmakers then.
No. So their starting five was Caruso, KCP, Drummond, Kuzma, and Davis. Drummond and Kuzma combined for 8 points.
Where is it? There is no 3-point shooting. Give me the.
No, their bench.
That game.
I'll find it. Their 3-point percentage for that game was 36.7.
I guess that's
11 from 30. It's just that. I mean, their field goal was 41%. I mean, they shot decently, but.
Oh god, that field goal percentage was shocking. I suppose they were.
But both of them were
trying to get it through the inside.
So Portland was 42. Lakers was 41.
How many minutes did Hassan Whiteside get this game?
Hassan Whiteside did not play.
Wow. Damn. Okay, I would have thought he would have played. He's a good interior defender.
So no, I think
when he actually decides he wants to show up.
So yeah, I think the problem they had was when you're looking at, and I was looking at it without. So it's not something the Lakers should worry about too much because once they got all their pieces back together, they might be and everything healthy. They should be good.
Yeah, but there's
you're running out of time.
There's
you're running out of time to
left.
get that. So you've got Dennis Schroeder who's out, and then you've got LeBron, who was obviously suffering injuries. AD came back and obviously he did score 36 points. So, he's in his bag. 36 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. And then obviously you've got to bring LeBron back. You've got to bring Schroeder back. And then you've got to look at, obviously, Markieff,
Yeah, but they now have less games than
Montrez.
They had in the bubble before doing that. So
yeah, you've got Montrez, you've got Markieff. There were a lot of players who, they've got to integrate back in. I think this is going to be... The Lakers is definitely going to be... Fuck it, let's just see what happens. They're going to be... They're going to have to be one of LeBron's... LeBron and AD are going to have to come together and provide just some levels of just tactical, amazingness and moments of brilliance to get them out of some of the holes that they might find themselves in. I think if they get themselves to the playoffs, then if you're the teams like Phoenix, Utah, you're pissed knowing that even if you come first or second, you might end up against Lakers, and if they play well, it's going to be tough.
I have a feeling it's going to be Jazz versus Lakers in the first round.
If it's 7 versus 10, does that mean that it would be 7 versus currently
10, 8, and 9.
So so 8 and 9 would be so currently it will be Suns versus Lakers. If Lakers drop any further and go to the 8th or 9th, then it could be them versus Jazz. It's one of them we've got to see. I think I don't know. I feel like
do I see the Suns leapfrogging the Jazz?
They've got 2 games. They're 2 games back.
1.5 games.
1.5. Wow. They've got a game. Let's see. The Suns have got
with a game in hand.
So let's see. The Suns. Here's the Suns running. They've got the Lakers. They've got the Warriors. They've got the Trailblazers. Then they've got the Spurs back to back twice.
Okay, so very middle of the pack schedule. That is. It's literally 6, 7, 8, and 10. But the problem is that all of those teams are going to want to win those games.
Exactly, and then the Jazz have the Warriors, the Trailblazers, the Thunder. The Warriors, the Trailblazers, the Thunder, and the Kings.
Okay, I feel like Utah have the edge there. So Utah are going to finish the season with it.
And then Utah are going to do that, and then they're going to come. I really do want to see Utah versus Golden State, just because Steph is going to put up numbers no matter how much he loses. It's going to be like 50 points from Steph. Yeah, they lost by 30.
No. I'm just excited to see Rudy Gobert against Steph Curry again, because every single time this man plays this man, Gobert is just destroyed. Whether it's a crossover, whether it's a fake 3, and Gobert spins every time Steph Curry makes Gobert look like an idiot, which is not that hard. Because, oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
Which isn't really that hard, but Steph Curry does it more than most people. Because for some reason, Gobert ends up guarding Steph Curry, which is ridiculous. Defensive Player of the Year this year, apparently, guys. Yeah.
But the thing is, so one of the things about...
by the way, Bam being 3rd in that vote, by the way.
One of the things about...
I think it's 3rd.
Is that? I mean,
He
I know
was
Ben
third.
Simmons is not happy about any of this because he feels like he is number one defender.
I would probably pick Ben Simmons if I had to.
Yeah,
I'd probably pick Ben Simmons.
one of the things about Jokic, fucking Rudy Gobert is that because he prides himself on defense, whenever Steph has the ball, he feels like he needs to prove a point, and a lot of the time Steph then makes him look a dickhead. But he's like, at least I didn't, you know, whatever. But
Get
also,
posted.
yeah,
by
but
Steph
also,
Curry.
one of the things I think that we need to factor in is that so Donovan Mitchell is out
For the rest of the season.
Not out for the rest of the season, but he's been reevaluated to come back through the next week or two.
Oh yeah, because didn't he?
Considering
What did he? What
ankle.
Oh yeah.
He's got a right ankle sprain. He's missed 4 weeks so far. So
shit, yeah, I remember now.
While Utah have been doing great, coming into this type of game, this is kind of dangerous for them. Donovan's out. They've been doing well. They've been doing okay, and I think But if I'm them, I'm hoping he comes back. Then obviously, he's probably going to come back at the start of the playoffs for them. Meaning he's not going to get much chance to And if they come up against it's one of them. Like, I'll be interested to see that, especially if they come up against the Warriors, or even if they do end up getting the Lakers, they don't need Donovan Mitchell back. That's going to be a big thing for them.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Well,
go on.
I'd say I'm really happy that we're like a week away from the playoffs now at this point. I think they start the next week. Next week is the last regular season game, so next Sunday. So then, but I'm really interested to see some of these matchups. I'm hoping the Nets drop down one more, and then I can. Just want to see something. I just want to.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see something. I was just about to say, who the Timberwolves are. Well, not the Timberwolves per se, but Karl Anthony Towns is really pissing me off.
Why?
They had that thing with Jimmy Butler in that game, but
yeah.
also the one thing that I have a problem with is saying Anthony Edwards is a Rookie of the Year. Like, where are you again? 14th? No, sir.
The only team.
No, LaMelo is still more deserving. He got
I think. Did you see his underarm full court pass?
LaMelo, yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Man, why? Of course, you'd say he's the fucking Rookie of the Year. You also said that Jimmy Butler was fucking a meanie. So,
but yeah, I think the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at this the other day, and a lot of people are trying to use Edwards' numbers to put him at number one. He's actually number one on the.
I'll give you numbers. 21 and 47.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you 33 and 34. And then I'll give you a playing appearance. And then I'll give you whatever number fucking lottery pick the Timberwolves end up getting.
So I'm just looking at this.
So there's the numbers.
Here's the thing with me. So okay, the top 5 on the ladder for the rookie of the year. We've got Sadiq Bey for the Detroit Pistons, which is 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Then you've got Tyrese Halliburton for the Kings.
Yeah.
30 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Then you've got Deshaun Tate. Fucking hell, that is a name. Sean Tate. 11 Rockets, 11 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Then you've got LaMelo, who's second on this. 15
where's Wiseman? Did Wiseman just drop off?
Oh no, Wiseman. Oh wait, shit, yeah. I guess with the injury they've taken him off that.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, this is true.
And then and LaMelo 15.7 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists. And then they've said that Anthony Edwards is number 1 on their list with 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And I'm just like, they're second from last. They're the top 3 in this Rookie of the Year are the bottom team in the West and the second from bottom team in the West.
And then a team that's actually in the playoffs.
It's one of them, if you're given the award for, Rookie of the Year,
Anthony Edwards was in the team, in the starting lineup the entire time. Yeah. LaMelo Ball, despite his namesake, went from bench earned his position in his team, just developed, and has become an integral part of a playoff caliber team.
Yeah, and I think it's just like,
A
okay,
key part of this playoff
okay,
caliber
Anthony
team.
Edwards has had some big games where he drops like, what was he, like 30, 40, and so,
Okay,
woo, that's great. But
Brandon Jennings dropped 50 in his rookie year. What did he look? What did that amount to?
yeah, I'm even looking at it.
There's a huge list of players who dropped 50 at some point and never weren't even all stars. Like fucking, you're all professionals. It it can happen on any given night.
And one of the things to say is that they say that LaMelo's injury means it should go to Edwards because he's played 66 games. But I'm like,
what? 66 games out of?
Well, Edwards has played 66 games out of what, 67?
Yeah, and LaMelo's probably played like 50 something out of it.
He's played.
Like, do you remember?
45?
Wait, hold on. Like, oh, no. I'd understand if they played less than half a season.
We had this.
Like Zion.
I was gonna say we had this exact conversation last year because when we started this podcast, we were talking about whether Zion could be with Rookie of the Year. And we said
sheer numbers. Zion had the numbers. Yeah,
and we said
Zion played 19 games.
Yeah, we said that Zion only played 19 compared to the 80 or 70 that
well, it was a shortened season. It was like 60 or 50 or 60 games of that.
I try to forget 2020, but yeah. But yeah, so we said compared. We were like, okay, 19 isn't fair compared to the full season other people played. But in this case, say he's played 46, 47 games compared to this guy's played 65, whatever. Like
that's two. That's two playoff series. That's fine.
You're picking. You're like
that's more than half.
Playoff series.
That's a
playoff
third.
series that he's going to be in. Yeah, playoff series that he's going to be in. Like he's got a chance to win playoff series.
Nah, Lamelo would be my pick. Lamelo would be my pick.
Lamelo would be my.
I'll be honest. I was skeptical at the beginning of the year. I was skeptical of him at the beginning of the year, but no, he's definitely my rookie of the year.
I had hopes for him, and
unless tomorrow, or tonight, or whenever the next game is, Anthony Edwards drops. No, you know what? I don't even care if he drops 70. Like he can drop 100. Like if he drops 100, I bet you the Timberwolves are still losing.
Oh god, that'd be amazing. But I just think what are we looking at here? And I think if we're looking at, I feel like Rookie of the Year should be impacts, the way they play, where their team is, the effect they've had on their team. Do they make their team better? And when Charlotte they were like 4th or 5th when LaMelo got injured, and when they lost him, they started to actually drop off and lose games because they were missing one of their key players who just happened to be a rookie.
And this was a team that was supposed to be at the near the bottom of the standings from the beginning of the year. Yeah, everyone thought, Karl Anthony Towns is in his fucking 4th, 5th year. He's been here forever now. Like he needs to start getting. He's had one playoff appearance in his entire career because of Jimmy Butler, by the way. And like. Everyone is like he needs to start fixing up, like, and look at the team. Look at where it is. It's not help. You can put up good numbers. Well done. That's great. But it's good numbers isn't going to win Bradley Beal MVP, so it shouldn't win Anthony Edwards Rookie of the Year.
He got drafted in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh shit, that's 6 years. This is his 6th year.
2015, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21. Yep, 6 years.
This is his 6th year. Jesus Christ. Also, yeah, the Heat and Celtics is starting in 5 minutes.
Ooh. Yeah, I think. Oh, one thing I was interested by is, have you seen Lonzo's improved 3-point shooting? It's only taken him a couple of years, but he can now. He had a game where he just decided that he can. So
Lonzo had a game.
No. So he had a game where he hit. So basically, Lonzo is basically decided he's going to be the most inconsistent person the world's ever met. I think he hit 30.
Wait, what do you mean? Just decided? No, he's been like that his entire career.
Now Now he's leveling it up because he hit.
Now it's including threes. He's not just consistently shit from three.
I think he hit 33 in one game, then like 6 in another, then 33 in another game, then like 5. But yeah, so I was looking through it and I was like, what is he doing? And then he is it here? But yeah, so now his 3-point shooting is actually improved, so he can hit them. I think he hit 7 in the game against maybe Golden State.
Oh yeah, that's the team to hit threes against.
So he scored 33 points with 7 threes against the Warriors. But then the next game he did badly, and then the next after that he did well, and then after that he did badly. I was like, yes, you can shoot threes now. This is good, but then also he still has that inconsistency, and I'm like, I don't know what. Like, I just don't get it from you. Like, it's
just a heat check. I mean, get him with a heat check and just see what he's like.
Okay, so just to check, he had 33 points against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He had 8 from 17 from 3. Then he had 7 points against Golden State. He had 1 from 9 from 3. Jesus, 16% field goal percentage. Then he had Golden State again the next day and had 33 points, 7 from 13 from 3, 53% 3-point field goal with a 47.8% field goal. And then the game after that, he had 6. So he went, it was 6, 33, 7, 33. So he went, I don't know, like he can shoot them some days he can't. Sometimes he'll go 60% from the field, some days he'll go 11. It's against OKC, he went 0 from 8. He went 0 from 8.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, I was just looking through it, and I was like,
literally the most inconsistent man on this planet.
The reason I put that up is because I was laughing because I remember, like, earlier in the season we were talking, and obviously we were talking about, like, I was like, I genuinely believe that I thought LaMelo was better than Lonzo, like, and then obviously Lonzo, and I'm like looking at Lonzo, and like Lonzo was improving his game, but then I'm like, how
LaMelo is more consistent. But Lonzo can be better.
And that's the problem. It's like Lonzo's ceiling is right now, especially with his ability to shoot the threes on the every other day, maybe with the like on a Tuesday, and a Thursday, he can Friday, Saturday, or whatever. But like it's better. But then LaMelo seems to be more consistent with what he does. He can just do it night in, night out. He knows what it's weird. Like Lonzo is one of the most if I was a Pelicans fan or someone who followed him like really seriously, he would be probably the most frustrating person. Like one day he's chatting shit to Draymond after he hits a 3 because he's saying that like he needs to be guarded from there now, and then the next day he can't hit anything. It's like, what are you? I really want to see him with consistently. I'd be like, I just want him to have a consistent season where he's just doing well. It may never happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but then next season he'll fucking get injured or something. He'll do it season by season instead. He needs to work it way up. He needs to go like so. Now he's doing it game by game. He needs to start doing it week by week then, and then he's going to start doing it month by month, and then season by season.
Then occasionally season by season.
Yeah, and then by the time he's 35 and aging, he'll be somewhat consistently scoring 5 points. Fucking hell, man!
Just the fact that he talked trash to Draymond after hitting the 3.
What did Karl Anthony Towns say to fucking Jimmy Butler? Because I saw that, but I didn't know what happened.
I don't actually know. All I saw was when I checked, all I saw was an article that said Jimmy Butler went too far.
Did he? Though?
So I didn't. I'm gonna check. So.
Did he though? Is Karl Anthony?
Oh, so Butler said that Towns was soft as baby. Soft as baby shit. And Towns told Butler to call Rachel Nichols.
Oh, okay.
And then
I think that was a reference
to
the
interview with the
interview right after.
Yeah, no, so that makes sense. And I mean, it's kind of a dumb response. But what is interesting to me here is Towns was asked about the incident in the post-game media availability, but rookie Anthony Edwards jumped in and answered the question for him.
Yep.
And said there's no competition, we don't talk shit to each other. So the rookie jumped in for Karl Anthony Towns to answer the question about what happened on the court. That's a bit, I don't. someone calls you soft as baby shit, you probably want to jump in before your rookie does.
Yeah.
Like you're soft.
I mean, he's clearly soft. I mean, he can't make the playoffs, so he's soft as hell.
I think obviously, it's one of them. I think these people are probably.
You know what I think it is? I think Anthony Edwards had been like, he knew he was going to the Timberwolves and he knew that was going to happen. He had that response way in at the start of the season.
So,
and then someone asked the question and he just jumped in, just like,
Whoa. But I think, obviously, I don't think it's fair that a lot of the reporters are jumping on the fact that obviously Karl Anthony Towns has personally had a very rough year to try and complain that Jimmy Butler was out of pocket, because obviously we know that his parents caught COVID. Yeah, we know that both his parents caught COVID. We know that his mom passed away. We know that he lost, I think it was 7 family members to COVID, which in itself is horrific. And I know that he then had COVID. But calling someone soft as baby shit is just, it's game manslaughter. It's trash talk.
That's not even that's the one of the lowest.
That's
levels
like
of trash
it's
talk.
I
mean, come on, man. KG was calling Charlie Villanueva a cancer patient, for fuck's sake. Like, come on.
But yeah, it's trash talk.
Now that's too far. Calling a man soft, I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Like, man, you're soft. Like,
I think it's one of these people who are like, he can't be soft. Look what he's battled through. And he's like, no, he's not saying that as a person. He's saying that you get like
in terms of on-court mentality.
Like this when you're here, like you don't want it because I'm like
pure basketball here. Like, this is pure basketball we're talking about here.
It's just it was one of them. I just looked at it. I was like, I don't know what you meant. Like, that's stupid, but okay. Mm-hmm. Like, and don't treat Cat like like he is like a child. Like he knows what it is. He gave it back. Like, this isn't. If you like,
he said call Rachel Nichols, which a decent response. I think. If I was Jimmy Butler, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
It's one of them.
I mean, it's not great, but
I mean, it's kind of weak. Like, go call the reporter.
I mean, I'm getting the dub right now, but that's fine. And also, how can Karl Anthony Towns, like, didn't he go on like some podcast and just started talking shit about Jimmy Butler? Like, I'm pretty sure that was a thing that happened. Like, I'm pretty sure he might have talked shit about his Miami move as well. Like every pundit did. Like, he's only going to he's having a break now. Like, he's going there to retire. Bitches.
I basically I couldn't remember one of the funniest NBA trash talk things I'd seen. So I was trying to look through it. And then I remembered they're all KG. So we've got Kevin Guy, the Tim Duncan one, where he said "Happy Mother's Day, motherfucker" to Tim Duncan, who lost his mum before his 14th birthday, and then the one that I was actually looking for, which is when Kevin Garnett said that Carmelo's, when he said Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Butler calls Karl Anthony Towns soft, and all of a sudden he did actually,
Kevin Garnett calls Jose Calderon a cancer patient.
Was it? No, it wasn't Jose Calderon. It was Charles Villanueva.
No. So he called.
It was definitely Charlie Villanueva.
No. He called Jose Calderon a cancer patient, and it got under Villanueva's skin so much that he tweeted he would fight Garnett in real life.
Oh yeah, okay, that's where I must have.
Jose Calderon suffers from alopecia areata.
No, Jose Calderon does not. Charlie Villanueva suffers from that.
Well,
Jose Calderon does not. I can guarantee you that.
Hey, I'm reading this.
Whoever wrote that article is a fucking dumbass. Looks at the bottom. Stephen A.
You know what? I honestly, like, I stopped watching a lot of the First Take
I don't even bother.
Because I think for me, it's gone to the point where Stephen A. Smith is just he just regurgitates.
You know what I'm wondering? In these 3 weeks, has the Nets done anything dumb?
I don't know. I generally have been so switched off. I haven't had a Nets report, so I just
nothing of note. Like, there's been nothing outlandish that has shown up on my radar.
I don't think they've actually done it. That's why we haven't been here. It's because I haven't done anything bad.
Maybe it's because we just didn't have a podcast, and they were like, I'm gonna do Stephen A. Smith here and say it's because we didn't have a podcast, so there's nothing to talk about. So they were just like, oh, they're not going to talk about us. So I'm going to do a Stephen A. Smith and just say it was us that made them actually shut the fuck up. So,
I'm taking credit for them shutting the fuck up. I mean, I'll take that. That's
easy.
Oh my god, that was It's have a look. Nope, they've done nothing really. They've just been losing, and I think they've. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, you can't talk shit when you're losing.
Also, everyone's saying that Harden should be there's loads of people saying Harden should be MVP because look at Brooklyn without him, and I'm like,
no. Oh, but he's injured. He's been. Fuck this. Fuck this. Anthony Edwards is Rookie of the Year, but
no,
LaMelo can't be because he's missed some games. But Harden is MVP.
Because without him,
See, I think Joel Embiid should be MVP, and I think LaMelo Ball should be Rookie of the Year. They've both missed a little bit of time, but they came back. Their teams are strong with them. They had a very good start to the season. They've played enough games for me.
I just find this really interesting.
Insane.
I find it really interesting that Brooklyn are struggling without James Harden, but this is the roster they started with.
I mean, they were struggling.
They added
were like 8-8 before they added James Harden.
Yeah, I know, and then they added Blake Griffin and added James Harden, but this is their squad. Before they got Harden, this would have been their roster. This wouldn't I didn't realize any.
1 MVP, a 2-time Finals MVP.
So obviously, when you look at it's one of the things you look at caliber of player, you're looking at someone who can legitimately claim to be top 3 in that type of caliber of terms of right now. You can claim that.
One of the best scorers in the game ever.
So yeah, the thing is, they were having this conversation, and it was Richard Jefferson, and they were having that conversation of who
I
is the best
saw
scorer.
that, and he said LeBron. James.
But which I agree with in terms of, but he did say in terms of natural scorer, it's if you ask natural scorer, then it's KD because obviously the way the weapons he has, and then you think about that.
When Richard Jefferson put the fact that LeBron is a facilitator first, and he is still scoring 27 points a game consistently,
which in itself is mad when you think about the fact that he is not a shot first guy, but he is still. But what I'm thinking is, so you look at that, you've got KD who has all the shooting weapons in the world. You've got Kyrie who probably has, in terms of dribbling and playing, that's his range. We literally see him doing the complete blow-bys, getting to the rim. He's the type of guy who can, break people down. And you look at that team, you look around them, and you're like, you shouldn't need Harden. It's nice that you have him, but in the game,
maybe they're losing to try and help Harden get that MVP.
But no, God no, I'm over this out. But the thing is, for me, the problem is you might have combined it for I know that we laugh about the Brooklyn defense, but I thought at some point they'd at least try and change something. It's not that they're not scoring enough. So when they add Harden, what do they think is going to change? Because Kyrie and KD combined for 70 and they still lost to the Bucks. So what are they going to do? Just try and combine for 90, 100, and then just still lose to the because they're not going to be able to do. I'm really interested because when I watched the Bucks versus Brooklyn, I kind of realized that Giannis would just be begging for that matchup. That matchup is who's going to stop me? None of you. I'm going to the rim. I'm gonna go in there.
They got Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis guarding these men.
And then you've got the other way around. You've got Kyrie, and then you've got these man. like
You got
going one way.
KD, who's a decent defender, Kyrie, who's not the best defender, and James Harden.
Who defense?
They've got James Harden,
Yeah,
who's a body.
Yeah, and literally sometimes it's not even been a body. Do you remember what Giannis did to him when he dashed the ball in his head top? Just, like sometimes he's not even. Sometimes he's less than a body. It's like we have seen him get cooked. So yeah, and I think when I'm looking at that, I'm just like, I find it quite funny that obviously when you looked at those four rosters, it was quite easy to say this finals will be Lakers versus the Nets. I mean. And a lot of people are like, yeah, can't wait for the Lakers versus the Nets. Who's going to win? And now we're looking at it. I'm like, there's quality everywhere. It's tough. West is stacked. Tough. East is stacked. We don't know who's gonna. And next week we're gonna find out. Next week we're gonna find out because Lakers are pretty much in the playing tournament at this point. Miami and Boston have got to play 2 games, meaning that we'll find out of them 2 who's going to be in the playing tournament. Even if it's any of them, because they could both. Yeah, it's gonna be a sticky one, and then next week we're gonna find out where everyone is. Which is
this time next week we'll know. Well, the last games will be playing as we speak.
This time next week, there will literally be the end games to play because then obviously it's Sundays and they play quite early. So yeah, it's gonna be.
I guess till next week then.
Do it. Just do it.
I guess we need to take a time out.
There we go. We'll see ya.
All right. See ya. We're done. We outie.
Okay, now I'll end it. Shit.